Welcome to the Jade Capital Partners end of week webinar. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only, and your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Thank you for joining me. My name is Rob Clayton. Beginning with the Australian dollar, the view I had for this week was for a move towards 75.20, and as you can see from yesterday's price action, we got down to a low of 75.04. With momentum sharply returning and also market rebounding from that region, now takes out the resistance of 75.80.90, with a high today trading at 76.02. In light of the current pattern, I still expect to see further supply to return in front of 76.30 to 76.60, with the potential of a move back to the downside and look towards that 75 region, with the expectations of seeing a market fall lower towards 74 cents. In light of how the demand's come back in the last couple of days, clearing the 76.60 resistance could see a short covering up towards 77 cents, but again, I still feel that the market will be heavily traded on the supply side and expect to see a fall. So in light of the current pattern, we have reached its first objective of 75.20. With this small rebound, gives opportunity for the market to re-establish short positions and look for a move lower. And as I say, looking for 74 cents. The outlook for euro, pretty much the call was to 109.50. And last night we got down to 87, so not too far away from the objective. Rebounding moderately. Now looks to the resistance of 110.60 with above of 111.20.35. In light of the current pattern, I expect to see further dollar strength returning, and the weakness in the last 24 hours is just a one-off, and eventually see the support challenged at 109.50 and reassess from there. Reason behind that is that we could be looking lower towards 107.40.70. Well, dollar yen took out the resistance of 104.30, held and has held very bullish over the last few days. However, disappointment now comes in after rejecting the region around 104.60. However, the uptrend is still very much intact, and while holding above 103.10, I expect to see the top side re-challenged and expect a move towards 105.50. In light of how the technicals look, although we are slightly overbought, the trend indicator is still much supporting a move up, as the ADX trend is holding very firm. So as long as we don't go beneath 103.10, the view is still towards that 105 area and reassess from there. Sub 103.10 would negate the upside and instead put a 101.05.30 objective in place. Sterling, still very much seen as a downside risk at the moment, although we are seeing a small recovery in play. With the resistance now seen around 123.20, while that level holds, I expect to see further weakness towards 120 and then lower to retest those lows around 118 to 118.5 and reassess from there. In light of the move of last Friday, it's very unlikely now that there is hardly any supports worth mentioning until we get down towards 118. However, if we get a break above 123.20 in the next 48 hours, then it would see further coverage to the upside and possibly give a target of around 124 before the market turning round. But the broader downtrend is a lot higher, and it comes in around 126.60. Gold pretty much unchanged over the last 6 days, still trading in a 1240 to a 1265 band. However, the market is getting a little bit tired from this sell-off recently, and the trend is a little bit overheating and actually now starting to phase out. However, still keeping an eye on the stochastic does suggest we may get another test down towards that 1240 level, and a break under there would give further coverage towards 1210 as an objective. In line with the top side, if we get a break of 1268, then further coverage should see a move up towards 1276 to 82, and most likely top out from there. Looking at oil, you can see that on a weekly, just taking out these little lines, you've got this very heavy decline back in 2014, and then we've got a shoulder, head and shoulder. So this inverse head and shoulders is concerning, because if we see a break above 52.20, then the measured move comes in around about $70 a barrel. So in the next few days, we do need to keep an eye on this level of 52.20. But at the moment, in the short term, the market is actually backing away from that region and struggling to sustain at the moment. If we get a break beneath 49.40, then further weakness is seen to about $46 a barrel, and may negate that head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. But nevertheless, do keep an eye on that on that level at 52.20, as if we do see a break, then this could actually see potential rally. The S&P weakness come through eventually over the last couple of days, with a low of 2107 after the support broke and fell away from 2136. In light of the rebound, I still expect to see further weakness. Reason behind that is the daily trend on the ADX is still very firm and does look like we can get to down towards 2098 eventually as a target. In light of the overnight's recovery though, could see a short squeeze up towards 2138 first before the initial move down. And to finish with the SPY, well, the market did break through 54.20 and headed towards the next support, which came in at 53.70. After getting to a low of 84 last night, the market has rebounded quite respectively. Looking at the dailies, no trend at the moment, but the stochastic is breaking down, and also the MACD is also supportive of a further move down. So in the next 12 to 48 hours or next week, I expect to see a further weakness in the price and look for initial move towards 53.70, with the resistance now coming in around 54.40. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a great day ahead of you, and the weekend is about to begin.